Top Life Goon. It's Teamwork. Teamwork, are you ready for this match?
Oh, I am ready, Top Life, and it's a pleasure to be casting with you once again. Here we got a big quarterfinals matchup with both teams squaring in mid right away. It's just a flurry of trades back and forth with Dingoes getting about 7 seconds of time there, and it's looking like that the Dazed are going to be able to hop in there to pick up a little bit of time themselves. But if you look on the minimap, you can see number 7. He was trying to push that out, but he does get picked up there, Top Life. That's a huge kill to get.
Yeah, real big kill, real big kill. But now you got Sydney Dingoes on top of this time, pushing it from the din side. They are on the bad side, but they are trying to push through. They do got hardpoint time. They got to watch out for player 4, who's trying to make it mixy for them. That is Trim trying to make it in. He's trying to make the play. Now he's got his teammates around. There goes Muzzy. There goes Don with 2. But Sydney still remains control of the time. Player 8, big rotation battle on the rotation, so they should have early time. But if you look at the mini map, Atlanta Dazed has full control of these back spawns. But you got Sydney Dingoes spawning close in on this roof side. The big battle starting off from this hill, and it looks like player 196 Binks gets the big 2-piece to clear the hill and allow Sydney Dingoes to get this early time.
Yeah, that's just such a good play from them to get through mid and get in there early, and they were able to just bait for Binks there, and he just is cleaning them up, and they're continuing to find these kills out the front, but it's the Dazed that are going to come in. Muzzy with a big 2-piece firing back. Dawn going to find one as well as they push these back spawns out. There's a good chunk of time left here on the P2, so they're going to try and fight it right here, and that's Trim with another big 2-piece.
Yeah, he came right in through couches. He said, you guys are not about to attack us through couches, and he gets a big 3-piece, follow it off. He knows they're coming in from the back, so he's still ready for the battle, but he finally gets taken down. I think it sets the team up for the rotation. The Sydney Dingoes is saying, forget this hill. We are getting ready to rotate, but Atlanta Dazed have 2 players who spawn in on the din side, so this is going to be a rotation battle for the team's going to win this, but Physics gets the first kill, and his other teammate follows up with us. That's Binks with the second kill. That was a big battle between player 4 in the middle, and he does find one. Let's see if he can find a second to get a solo man break, but no, he can't. There's Don, there's Physics Dex and Physics for 2 big kills, and Sydney Dingoes man control of this P3 time.
Dingoes are just putting down pace on the map right now. They were first to the hill early on the rotation. They're making the trades work right now, and it's just a giant gunfight in the middle of the hill right now. Muzzy sliding out, trying to get anything. Dawn able to find one, but is immediately traded out. And these trades are just so good for the Dingoes. They're just staying on top of everything. But there's Trim with another big 2-piece. The story of this map so far, and he's looking for 3, able to find it, and they're gonna walk these spawns out here. Top Life, this is not good for the Dingoes.
Yeah, finally you got Atlanta Dazed getting a little break behind the gunny of Trim, man. Breaking that hill, getting his team those back dojo spots ready for this next hill to pop. This is one of the money hills. Let's see if they can hold it. But Trim does get taken down early before the time pops off. Now here comes Dex from the roof, but he gets immediately back down. But Binks, he is in. Trim with the trade on 2 ducks. We got this pinstripe kill feed that we've been seeing for the last couple of hills. Let's see if Sydney Dingoes can come out on top. Well, they have came out on top. Sydney Dingoes have came out on top so far of these gunfights as they're accruing this hardpoint time, but there is Atlanta Dazed finally able to break in. But these close dojo spots from Sydney Dingoes is known from Atlanta Dazed Slice trying to take out the trophy, but he probably got some bad timing with the player running right through the door. But this is a mixing fest to all Sydney Dingoes coming in from this front door, all of Atlanta Dazed coming in from the roof, and the battle is won finally by the Sydney Dingoes. Rotation to P1 is on, but Atlanta Dazed, you have to start winning some of these hills.
I mean, they did the hard part, Top Life. They broke the hill, they surrounded it, they took all that time away, but and just like a 40-second gunfight after that, and now, you know, they've lost most of the time off that hill. They're in a bad position going into this next set of hills, but, you know, you can get a nice little reset here. Trim, trying to do Trim things, find a little 2-piece. He wasn't able to pull it off this time, but Don is actually going to get picked up in the mid as well. So the Dingoes, once again, just being really dominant around this P1.
Yeah, man, the gunnies is fire, man. You got Dex 15-10, Logan 12-15, Binks 13-10. So they're all doing what they need to do in the slaying department to make sure that they have control of this hill and control of the spawns. The gunfights that they take, they know they're going to win. There was an unfortunate team kill, but it does not matter if you are Sydney Dingoes because you do got control of, I mean, they got the bad side of this map, but it does not matter to them because they're winning all the gunfights. Finally, a little pressure and lead from Atlanta Dazed, but as soon as they get a little touch of the hill, a little sniff, Atlanta Sydney Dingoes said, nah, back up, reset, try to do P2, and now the push is on for Sydney Dingoes.
The Dingoes are just kind of making the ego chow call, and we're just going to push right through mid on you. But Muzzy, he's going to make them pay just a little bit here. They know that the Dingoes are spawning back here, and that's Muzzy putting pace down. The kids hit another gear here. He's getting a little turn. He's going to get stuck down in the garage for a second, but the delay was good enough for his team to get here on the hill. So now the Days have a chance to win this. Physics and Ducks with a big two-piece. Ducks with a two-piece specifically. Looking for a third here. And that's a good break out of Dingoes. Once again, Top Life, they are just looking very good on this thin hardpoint.
Yeah, man, they lost that first initial battle, but when they spun up on that roof, immediate. I mean, they had one player just back there in the back who just stalled out enough time for the reinforcements to get there. Now the kills around the map are just going down in the favor for the Sydney Dingoes. They're spawning out on this dojo side for this next hill, and the battle in the hill is won by himself by Physics. So he's going to control the last of this P2 rotation to P3. Looks like Sydney Dingoes will get early time as we got this little 2v player stuck in between player 7, player 4. Trim, he does win that battle to keep one mate from alive, but he gets taken down immediately. But his teammates are there to start accrue some hardpoint time. 76-181 is the score line going into this P3. You would think this is a big hold for Atlanta Dazed that they can hold off, but the first kill goes in the favor and the second kill goes in the favor of the Atlanta Dazed, but they are there and they still are there holding off these Sydney Dingoes.
It's a huge gunfight for Don to get that player trying to push through mid. He's going to try to find another one here. He's got team help, and that is a great set of kills there for the Days to finally get a little bit of time on the hill here. And if they're going to turn it around, it has to be right now, as there's not a whole lot of time left for the Dingoes to get here. And Don, once again, trying to hold these ever so crucial push-outs. He's going to lurk around, and with a little help from Muzzy, they actually get the time here. They got the spawns, Top Life. This could get mixy.
Yeah, you got Trim pushed all the way up in Dojo, trying to slow them down, but he did get the call later. No, they're coming from the Dojo side, so the teammates should already have this call out, but you got to watch out for player 196 who's made his way through the roof, who got a solo man break, and now Atlanta Dazed are scrambling from this roof. All the Sydney Dingoes are pushing from this Dojo side. We do have a slight contest, but Trim wins that first battle. Now his team is in. Now the trades have to happen in the favor for Sydney Dingoes, and Muzzy says, forget a trade. I'm going to get 2 on my own. Don pushing out roof, keeping Sydney back 128-130. They're trying to make a little dent in this score line, but they know they got to push up. They got to push out the map. They got to keep the pressure on these Sydney Dingoes, and that's what they're trying to do right now. As they're getting as much hardpoint time as they can get. They're thinking about the rotation to P1. They say, let's go through roofs to get control of these back spawns, to control this P1. Sydney Dingoes will try to get the last of that 5 seconds of scrap time, but Atlanta Dazed, they're ready for this P1.
They are ready indeed. They read that parallel spawn so well there. Just took up all the space they could on the map, and now they're in the driver's seat here on P1. Still 50 points behind the Dingoes, so not as close as maybe you'd like it to be here at P1 once again, but they've actually got a shot at the map now, and it's going to be up to Don to try and hold this time here. Going to take the Chow onto the site, and I don't know that he's going to be able to win. He's got the teammate watching over him, but that is a huge win from Don. All doubts washed away. They are in on P1 here, but Ducks with an insane flank. Going to find 2. Quickly traded out, and that's Trim with a 2-piece of his own, and they're still holding time.
They're still holding time, but the spawns have flipped for the P2, so this is going to be good. But Don is still making kills. He knows he has to push it back to make sure his team gets control of these back spawns. But right now, they don't care. They say, let's just get hard point time. Now they finally sold out that player in that top mid cut. So the battle is on for P2, and Binks and Figs is fighting the first 2, but the trades are in for Atlanta. Muzzy with a big 2, Trim with 1. Atlanta Dazed are in, only down by 20 points, or 10 with 10 points, and now 11. I can't count. 11 points, and they're close. But Sydney Dingoes with the close spawns able to break in, but this P2 is getting mixy teamwork.
My gosh, Trim is just wall bouncing in circles on the hill, and he's finding kills. Slice getting one as well. Gonna chest bump that player, not able to find the kill. Binks gonna try to break it on his own, but Trim, once again, being so good in the hill, just delaying that time. But the Dingoes are in now, and they are in like Flynn, baby. They don't have a whole lot of time left until they can take this map here, Top Life. And now that the rotations are coming through, these battles over towards Dojo are everything.
Yeah, player 8, he's in a good spot. Let's see if he can win this first battle. But player 2 wins that battle on the rotation. I think I just watch out for player 8. He's just soloed out in the back. He finds one, but he gets instantly traded out. Atlanta Dazed will start off for early time. This is a big hold. We saw last time they held it big. They're going to have to hold it big one more time. But you see those battles in the back starting going in the favor of player 7 and player 6 now. It is player 1 on the hill, but the reinforcements are there. He finds one, but he cannot find the second. Or is the trade there? No, it's not. Bings come from mid-map to help that trade out. Now Sydney Dingoes are in prime position. 10 seconds is all they need for the win. Atlanta Dazed flooding in from mid. There's only one player left who can try to make a contest. He gets taken down, and that could be game for Sydney Dingoes. They win 250-206.
I mean, just a little too late from the Days there to get back into that hard point, but they definitely kept it close, kept it interesting, and it's off the back of plays like this from Trim, who's just finding 2 and 3 pieces all over the map to keep his team close, and Muzzy as well spots in and try to break those irons.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I'm trying to see if any one of these teams is going to pull out that big boomstick to see they want to get crazy out here. But we can see a full hit towards this B side for the Atlanta Dazed. Only one player here. That's player 7. He immediately gets taken down by the overwhelming force of Atlanta Dazed. And instead of planting the bomb, the bomb is going down now. But there is one trade that did come in the favor, or 2 trades that came in the favor for Atlanta Dazed. So now there's only Logan and Physics. Last 2 alive, bomb down on B.
Ooh, Muzzy in a tight spot, able to find one. A little bit of mantle cheese, not able to get another one. So now it's Don and Trim up against Logan. 30 seconds left or so on the clock here for Logan to try and clutch this 1v2 here. In the first round, he's going to get put absolutely one shot by Trim. And I think the dogs are going to go barking, and Don actually playing a little bit passive here. They're going to get some team shots down. Nobody able to find a kill, though. Finally, Trim's going to pick it up there for the Atlanta Dazed, and that's a good round 1.
Yeah, that was a great round 1. Just overwhelming pressure at B. You know, unexpected. People do not expect this B side, especially on round 1. So just to push it first round, get the overwhelming pressure over there, getting those opening kills, and then just winning those gun battles inside the barn made it important for Sydney for Atlanta Dazed to come out with that opening round 1. So we got to see how Sydney Dingoes is going to respond to that.
Yeah, we've already got a heat check from Muzzy here. 3 kills in the first round, not slowing down where he left off on that map number 1 at all. The Dingo's doing a little bit of the same thing here, trying to get that bomb towards the B side. It's a lot of guns towards mid, and Muzzy is actually one shot as hell over here in the yard, and he's going to find a kill. 4th one so far across 2 rounds. In Top Life, I don't think he's slowing down.
Nah, Muzzy, man. Muzzy just sitting Muzzy on the island. He got it. Oh, 2 players just ran right by each other. This Ice Slice and Don finds 2 over there by the B side. Bomb is down. Last man to go down is Ducks. Atlanta Dazed winning that round to go up 2-0 in this search and destroy. There's your boy Muzzy finding that last kill. Player running through the A side. Why is he here? Muzzy doesn't know. Muzzy said you are gonna stay here at this A side, and then we'll see you next round. But I mean, that the battles are just being won right now. Like, we wasn't seeing that earlier from the Atlanta Dazed. We were seeing Sydney Dingoes win a lot of those battles, but they started heating up towards the end. So maybe that hot streak is starting to come over here for the Atlanta Dazed. It's starting to win a lot of these gun battles, as we mentioned. Muzzy's 5-1. You got Trim and Don both sitting at 1 apiece, 1-0 apiece. This bomb is going right through mid. Aggressive push towards A. Trim has the information that there is a player on the A side. He hits it with the stun, and he goes down, but he loses that battle. But the trades are in. Don with a big 2-piece. Slice gets 1. Physics finds 1 with the fade. Leads it into a 2v1 for Ducks by himself, but he got to watch his back. And Atlanta Dazed takes another round.
Wow, I mean, that round was just, not a whole lot happening, and then everything was happening all at once, just all around that A bomb site. And it's going to be Muzzy with a good vet route here to re-wrap mid. It's going to find and save his teammate. And that's a great 3 rounds in a row for the side of the day. So it's exactly what you needed after winning, maybe a slow hard point for the team coming out. Gotta knock the dust off the controller a little bit, get the thumbs warm. So this is what you need to get back in the series here and try to extend your stay in playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, you get your good little search win. Then you got to go back to a respawn. But right now, Don with a first blood for the Atlanta Dazed. Keeping it hot. Slice finds the second. Immediately 4v2. Advantage over here for Atlanta Dazed. Don finds Physics to leave it to a 4v1. It's all up to Binks. Can Binks find the last kill? He sees Slice in his sights and he takes him down. Takes him down to 14 HP, but they know where he is. Wall bangs are in. Atlanta Dazed 4 straight.
Okay, Sydney, now it's time to pick up your controllers, guys. I mean, this is getting a little out of hand here for the Dingoes. I mean, those wall bangs, that's just vetting knowledge here on the map. Muzzy, 7-1, putting on a performance, but I got to shout out Dawn. I mean, that ego chow on top barn for the player over in train. I mean, that's how you know they are feeling good on the map right now. 5-1, putting on a show.
Yes, they are, man. We are here into this round 5. Don said, I forgot the bomb, but let me go back and get it. They're going to this old faithful, I'm gonna call it for Atlanta Dazed. This B site, overwhelming pressure, mud slice. Finds the first blood onto Jugs, but there goes Physics. What's the trade on the trim? Not on the Slice, but here goes Physics trying to find another one. He does find another one onto Slice. Teammates are there. Binks, can Binks help him out with the trade? No, he cannot. Muzzy does finally go down in his search and destroy Sydney Dingo. Takes a round. I mean, that was that right there. It was a bang out at the B site. And then it was just it really started off by the 2-piece from Physics. And this is a great play by Binks to make this flank. I thought he was up top in the barn, but I guess it's him right here with the NPC. But it was a great play by him to make that flank, but Physics opening off with that opening 2-piece on the B site, which kept him alive. And the kill feed doesn't say it, so I don't know if it was Physics, but hey.
Yeah, you gotta love the Codcaster cheese. It's a different hell every game. And speaking of a different hell, look at this. They're just taking it right down mid. Logan putting crazy shots down onto Don. Not gonna find anything too good here. So now the Dingo's gonna be forced to maybe try and go to a different play call here. But Muzzy just immediately finding a kill in mid. It's not what you want. Now the Dazed are activated. Slice is getting right up in their grill, sneaky beaky like. There he is. He's gonna snap and find one. He's got the NPC at range, not able to find another. But they know exactly where these players are, and the Atlanta Dazed just snap down onto the Dingoes there for match point. And this is looking like their map gun.
Yeah, I mean, Sydney Dingoes, they've been trying to call an audible and pull out the sniper, but it wasn't enough. They get trimmed, and you had Slice on the other side. Slice is trying to pull out his inner envoy, trying to hit that long range shot with the NPC, but he just could not get it done. But I mean, we're on match point, like you said, and Sydney Dingoes, they got to fight back. Let's see if they can do it here, teamwork.
It's gonna be a little of an uphill battle here, but they can be done. Got 1 round on the board. You just got to play perfect for 6 more, or for 5 more, sorry, and you will find a W. But that makes it so hard. Muzzy with the Kobe across map. Trim following up with a kill onto Ducks. And now it is Physics and Binks left in the 2v4.
Oh, good play on the flank. They found one. They open it up, take down Muzzy, which is pretty good. Muzzy kind of had a feeling they was coming, but he just could not find a kill. But here goes another 1v1 battle. Let's see. He ran right past him. Here comes Binks coming in mid, but he turns and looks the wrong way. Don takes him down. Now it's all up to Physics. Physics finds one, but he cannot find a second. And Atlanta Dazed take the search and destroy 6-1.
Wow. I mean, the Atlanta Dazed just woke up a little late in the hard point, but they are awake now, folks, and they are to be feared here on Fringe himself. And now on this overload, this is huge for the outcome of the rest of this series here, as the Sydney Dingoes are going to have to try to fire back, but that's Muzzy getting the first blood already. Make it a 2-piece for the kid. and they're just getting going already.
Yeah, they're pushing all the way up. Give me this. Let's go ahead and take this to B. But there goes Binks with 2 big kills to slow it down right there outside of that P2 area. But Atlanta Dazed, they just spawning up and they're coming back. Player 3, he's trying to make a play. He got his stuff in the top green. Let's see what he can do up there. But he cannot. Well, he does find one. Trying to look for the second. The ball has been reset it. So that's going to slow down Atlanta Dazed just a little bit. But the pressure is still on. There is a finally kills that win in favor of Sydney Dingoes to fight out their spawns. Now they're starting to push up a little bit. Bomb is neutral. Let's see where we go from here.
It's going to be a big fight over mid here. It's a mostly blue kill feed so far. Logan letting it sing from across the map. 6-0 already, pushing the overload device directly to that bomb. He doesn't quite get there. Don's going to be able to pull the stop for the moment. And now the Dazed are going to fight from their spawn, and they're able to get that wave out of there. But for the time being, going to push it back towards that the hotel side. Trim finding a big trade there, but unfortunately, they're just not really able to progress this top life.
Yeah, I mean, Sydney Dingoes just said, man, the closest they went was a sprint, but that got shut down. But Binks, man, starting off with 2 big kills. They could favor this B side. They do have 3 players here. Atlanta Dazed spawning up on the side, so this cross is going to be important. But the explosion and the kill works out in the favor for Slice, but this ball is still here. Looks like getting ready to cross this B side, and there it goes. Goal for the Sydney Dingoes as they detonate device on the B side to take a 1-0 lead.
They got the detonation, but it's going to be up to Logan here to try and stop the relay. And he's not able to find the kill, and Don is going to be able to immediately punch that in. And back towards the hotel side, now you got a bunch of blue arrows in the middle of the map, but they're getting chopped down. And for a second there, I thought maybe they could hold on. Muzzy's going to go ahead and grab the device and go crazy with it top life. And that is the Dazed going to start pushing it up to try and get a 2-piece on this bomb here. Muzzy's going to be able to get it done now. And now they're up 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, the double relay, the double score was really good. The comeback, and then the relay was really great. Let's see if they can get this into a, I don't know what Miles was calling it, like a tri-lay or something. But if they can get, but no, it's not done. It's not done. They couldn't get it done because it had already been happening. But the ball is reset it back to middle, and they got map control right now. As player 2 is pushed up in the top green. You got player 3 just making things mixing, getting that player out of their spawn. Now they're trying to push up to grab this device. You got Sydney Dingoes all going down. There goes 3 of them. Device is getting ready to get picked up, but Sydney Dingoes take this. He's going for a solo man push. Can he get there to the 10, the 5? No, he gets taken down right at the 5-yard line by the Atlanta Dazed as he was trying to sprint this in from a halfback dive up the middle, but it gets shut down right at the 5-yard line. But now it's a response from Atlanta Dazed. Is getting ready to take this ball through the plane, but it gets shut down. Physics says, let me pick this up, rewrap this towards, take this back towards the Atlanta Dazed sides, but he sees all of Atlanta Dazed spawn up on that blue side. So now he's got to slow it down, wait for his lead blockers to get there, but all of his lead blockers go down, and there he goes. Atlanta Dazed should pick this ball up and start running this up towards the plane, but they got to watch out for player 7. It's going to be sneaky by play. He gets a big 2. Binks followed up with 3, and that saves the pressure from the Sydney Dingoes.
And now the Dingo's going to start applying that pressure once again here. It's going to be up to Slice to try and hold it down. The Dazed are in trouble with Ducks with a big 2-piece, but nobody able to grab the device, and Trim with the rewrap through plane, able to find the kill. And now the device is going to move right up through plane. It's coming straight to Physics. A little bit of an ego chow with the device, and he's just going to hold it for now. As the kill feed is trying to stay white, but the Dingoes have refused to get away from this overload site and is playing perfect defense right now, working trades off of each other. And now towards plane, these gunfights are going to be huge towards mid.
Yeah, and the device reset, so this could give Atlanta Dazed control of this B sides. They know they were all trapped in the A's. He's going for it. He's got to watch it for player 2. Player 2 does find an opening kill, but the device does get dropped. He picks it up. 9 seconds left. He gets stunned right at the 10, and then the device now gets picked up by Sydney Dingoes. This may be the last chance for this device. Let's see. Yeah, so now we're in this overtime. So if the device gets dropped or it's a score, it's going to end the round. Let's see if Sydney Dingoes can put one more on the board. You got Prayer with the device. He's taking his time, and he finally gets taken down. Pistol versus that NPC. I'm going NPC all the time. Great round, though, by Sydney Dingoes if you are 2-1. I mean, by Atlanta Dazed to keep this 2-1 advantage. Now you're going to go for the favorable side. So let's see how Atlanta Dazed can stretch out this lead.
Yeah, it's a good first half. Nice and gritty there. Just exactly what we expected from these teams in the playoffs here. Both of these guys, former champions themselves in the gold division, now in platinum, hoping to tack another one on for the organization here. I mean, the teamwork has just been phenomenal from both of these teams, specifically Sydney Dingoes on some of those goal line defenses that they had there. And it was just so mixy towards that green side of the map. And how they didn't allow a score is, something we'll just have to go and look at and remember. Miss Muzzy getting a big two-piece to start us off on this second side. Dawn able to find one as well. Top Life Dazed are taking no breaks here. They're getting right into it.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was listening to the CDL all weekend. They said going the way that the Land Days is going right now is the side that you want to go. So having this 2-1 lead should help them out. But Sydney Dingoes, they know they got to fight back. They know they're on the tough side. So they know they got to turn the controllers on. They got to start shooting. There goes Binks being that lead blocker. Should be an easy detonation for the Sydney Dingoes. They got to remember this play. They got to see this ball is playing spawning up under the plane. So they got to make sure they win these opening battles. But Atlanta Dazed doing a great job of keeping them out of City Dingoes out of their spots for now, but the ball was starting to get pushed up. But there's a big 4-piece for the Atlanta Dazed to clear out City Dingoes. Now it is sprinting, it is running up, and it is an easy left halfback toss under the plane to A for Atlanta Dazed to get an easy 3-2 score. 3 minutes 40 on the clock. Sydney Dingoes trying to respond. Ball over here on the P2 side.
It's going to be up to Logan to try and stop this here. And the relay coming through from Muzzy right away. The Dazed putting another dagger on the board. 4-2 now. And they have control around Hotel. Device going to spawn in mid with Trim's got a nasty little corner here. He's going to be able to spy that bomb carry. Not good for a kill, but he's got tons of info for the team. And now they're going to have to try to find some of these players from the Dingoes before they can move this device at all. And that goes the same way for the Dingoes themselves here as they find themselves caught in the middle of the map, and Dazed are now moving it towards the plain side. This could get so mixy here for the Dingoes.
Yeah, man, I'm just loving the effort. I'm just sprinting, just sprint right at it, man. Forget my lead blockers. I don't need you. I'm gonna go for the full kick return to the hood. But there goes Don. He gets the kill with the pistol, and he detonates another one. 5-2. Atlanta Dazed, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and they got full control of this ball. All the kills going in their favor. They know they're spawning up back there by this B side, so they're going to try to push this ball up. Oh, they already pushed it up. Now I missed the score. It was so quick. They got it in already. The ball's going to reset over here on this P2 side, and it looked like it's got to be up to player 2 to try to make this cutoff, and they're going in for another one. He gets the crawl. Oh, he did. Oh, he took the pistol chow before he decided. Oh, another one. He said, "I'm not gonna." Oh, he didn't. Oh, the device was already dropped out. He had the device in his hand, just going crazy with the pistol. But the device is dropped. 6-2. 2 minutes to go on the clock. Sydney Dingo trying to respond, but I don't think they can. Atlanta Dazed has too much pressure on the map.
Yeah, that's just an insane sequence there. There was cruise missile called in. The guns are hot all over the spawn of the Dingoes. But such a big kill for number 8 Physics to get here. And with a little help from his friends, they're going to be able to find more in the middle of the map now. And just a little bit of a break here. You got a second to breathe, maybe get to some power positions. Physics is going to hit the big wrap here for a good trade. Trim going to find a 2-piece in mid though on the Dingoes to put the pressure on, and it's Dawn up in top green. Such a big power position on this map as they wait out. I think another cruise missile gets called in there, and the Dingoes are just kind of scrambling in the middle of the map now, Goon. They can't get anything going.
Yeah, man, they just, either they're playing keep away or they're trying to get 8. I don't know. Probably just trying to get as many kills as they want. They got the 72 advantage. Look like it's mathematically impossible for City Dingoes to come back. So if you are Atlanta Dazed, you might as well try to go ahead and get number 8 on the board, as there is a big 3-piece to go in the kill feed. And number 8 is what they decide, is what they're saying they're going to try to do. And he's going to wrap this through playing. He has his lead blocker in player 1, who does find one. Now it's all going to be up to player 6. He gets taken down, and this is get Oh no! It got stopped right at the goal line by Binks. Or is this Physics? Physics with a big stop at the goal line, and Sydney Dingoes picks it up with 30 seconds to go. One last score. Can they get it? No, it gets shut down by the Atlanta Dazed. They just say, hey, we're just gonna keep this right here on the play. No, let's try to go for 8. That's what I'm talking about. They gotta watch the flank. Here goes the flank. There's 2 players on the flank. Can the teammates get the trades? No, they cannot. Oh, they do find him. It's gonna be up to Ice Slice. Ice Slice gets taken down, but Don, last man up. 11 seconds. He's going back for the device. The spawn is in. He's going for the sprint. Is the Nate's going to get there? No, but the roof shots are in. But there is the last score from Atlanta Dazed with too much pressure on this A site.
The Dazed just hit a whole nother gear there, Top Life, just to take over. Ice Slice with a 40 bomb.
Wow, they just traded 40 bombs. They're trading 40 bombs. I mean, but yeah, I mean, clearly, man, what I was hearing from Maven was the main one saying it the whole weekend, but he was like, yeah,
they looked so good in that first map, but it started to slip away from them. But with that hardpoint prowess we saw, maybe they've got some life left in them here. It's going to be up to them to stop down Trim in the middle of the map, and that's a free 2-piece for the kid. Duck's going to fire back with one of his own, but Binks off a quick wrap through plane. Gonna give his team control of the hard point for a moment here. And P1, not typically a money hill, but we can see if they can try to find some good time here.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, you gotta get as much as you can get. You gotta make sure you try to control those back spawns for the P2, and that's what Atlanta Dazed is currently doing right now. Is they're spawning? I think that's what they're doing. No, they're not doing that. My bad. That's Sydney Dingoes controlling these spawns. So Atlanta Dazed, they gotta try to fight through this P1, but they're keeping it mixy. 7 and 19. Now they know this rotation is on to this P side. Sydney Dingoes are already there. So they're gonna get early control this time. Atlanta Dazed did start lighting up the kill feed, so they're gonna try to put this pressure on this P2 side. You got Binks with a big kill in the mid to slow down one of those players, but it's opening gunfight on P2 is gonna be big. Don versus Ducks, and Ducks just absolutely melts him. And there goes the Sydney Dingoes taking early control of this P2 time.
Dazed are going to have to try to fight through front hotel here, and it is easier said than done. But when you got Muzzy on your team, it's just easy. A huge 2-piece to get them in. Don with the cleanup kill. And now the Atlanta Dazed are here. 30 seconds left on the hard point, but they immediately get sniped out of it. Slice gets picked up as well. So up to Trim once again to try and keep him in this. But Physics with a giant 2-piece of his own to get this scrap time. And now if you're the Dazed, you got to make a decision here, and it looks like they're opting to send 2 players on the rotation. And as they get cut down, you do have player 1 spawn out, though, here, Top Life. This could be huge on Plain side. He's got top green control.
But he has to understand he has the spawn. He's got control of it. He doesn't care about the spawn. I'm just going to get a big 2-piece. Who cares if my teammate spawns? But they spawn up behind him. It's a great move to get up out of there. Let's see if he reads that the team of Sydney Dingoes has spawned up. We find him, no, he does not make that read, but he did make the call out for his teammates. Turn around. They're coming from top green. So you see all of Sydney Dingoes flooding this from this green side, trying to get in. There goes a big 3 kills for Atlanta Dazed as they break in. Logan now up to see if he can make a play, but he immediately gets taken down. And then Don follows it up with 2 more kills of his own, 50 to 55 as we get to this P3. And these teams are just battling tooth and nail. Sydney Dingoes does not want to go home. Atlanta Dazed wants to end the series, and this P3 is showing you that both teams want it more. I mean, that both teams want this win.
Yeah, they definitely want it. They are all over this hill right now. Trim, unfortunately, stopped shooting. So that last little bit of scrap time going to go to the Dingoes now, who's got to try to push through this back blue side. Slice, giant 2-piece on the front side before he is traded out. But 2 from the side of the Dingoes as well, in through the hard point, but they get cut down. It's going to be Dawn on the hunt, but not able to find him. Now left to Trim once again for cleanup. The Dazed are so good here in these mixy situations. It's going to be really favorable for him, as this Blue Hill is just all about just getting gritty with the NPC.
Yeah, yeah, man, I agree with you. It's just like Atlanta Days does have the better of the NPC players right now at the moment. But Sydney Dingoes, they're fighting back. They got full control of the blue. They're spawning them out. They have the player push them a little bit to slow them down a little bit to get, to make it a little stretch, get a little stretch of the legs of this lead. But it's not really much. There's at 72, 76, 82. By the time this scrap time goes in favor, it should be a tie ball game. Atlanta Days may have the lead by one, but they are back here. Only two players are back here trying to get control of the spawn. Unfortunate car explosion takes down one. So now City Dingoes does have control of his back spawns, but you got Muzzy on the hill. Trim is here for the follow-up. Can he get this kill? He does! And that is big for Atlanta Days to hold on. Teammate does unfortunately take out Trim. So that makes the hill neutral for now. There we go, City Dingoes. Now they're fighting again, but they gotta win these ones-on-ones. But Don wins it, and Slice follows it up behind them. The lead is starting to stretch out for Atlanta Days. City Dingoes spawning out in this mid area. They do got a slight contest from Binks, but Don takes him down. Atlanta Days doing a great job holding on to this hill.
Just living in the chaos. The Days finding all the kills around green. The Dingo's going to have to be forced to rotate again to try and get some map control. But you can see number 4 already getting through P1. But oh, look at that player, number 7, slips the net here. He's going to have a huge opportunity for some big kills. But on the hill, the Days are getting cut down, and now you got Dingoes here in the middle of the map, but they don't have any of the control top life, and it's going to be up to them to try and break some of these positions, and the Days are just in your face.
Yeah, they're pushing the pace. Trim and Muzzy said they can't guard me, man. Let me just go ISO. Let me go ISO ball on them, coach, and let me just run at them. And that's what they're doing. City Dingoes has not been able to match up the pressure so far. They're keeping the game kind of close, but Atlanta Days now on the second set of rotations are looking to stretch their lead, looking to get ready to win this hardpoint game in this series here on the second set of rotations. That they're getting a great chunk of this P1 time. There's finally a kill for Sydney Dingoes to get in, but Trim is here. Oh. Trim finds a big 2, trying to find that third, but he cannot. There's too many guns that was pointing at him at that time. But Atlanta Days are getting some of this scrap, are probably where they're fighting for. They're going to fight for the rest of the scrap time because they know they got control of this hill. They know they got City Dingoes spawning out over there by that plane area. Let's see if Slice makes a great read. He does see one. He finds that player that's pushing close to his team. So Atlanta Days are going to have early time and early control of this hill.
Ooh, but Physics able to get in from behind, run straight through Hotel, and nobody sees him. For a quick and easy break, the Dingoes now have an opportunity to maybe get a little bit back into this game. But Muzzy and Trim once again going huge. Slice finding one as well. Up to Binks now to maybe make a hero play, but gets cut down by Slice. 23 and 16 for the kid, putting on a show here in map 4.
Yeah, he is, man. 147, 107. That's the score line on this P2. It's just getting mixy. Mixy can get in. There goes Logan and Co. for the break-in for this P2, but they got to think about the rotation for this P3. Atlanta Days are already on it. They're already trying to cut off these players from the middle of the map, but big kill by player A, but player 3, he is there to shut that down. Early time in the favor of Atlanta Days. They got full control of the bottom of this map, so it's going to be tough for these Sydney Dingo players to try to break in through this first line. Slice is just cutting them off. Oh, he's trying to go for the pistol child, but he gets taken down, but his teammate Trim is there. They're just keeping them back here in this corner of your City Dingo, but they did not watch out for player 8, who did get that back spawn, who did come in from that backside and get a break in. So now City Dingoes are in.
The Dingoes have a chance to turn it around once again, but Dazed in the hill now, going to keep extending that lead out. And as we get later and later into this hard point, that lead just starts to look more insurmountable here for the side of the Dingoes. But they're keeping it close. They're fighting for that scrap time. And now the rotations are going to be everything. Dazed did such a good job of holding time here. But once again, the scrap time has been so good for the Dingoes that they've been able to keep it pretty close here. And Last time on this blue hill, they were able to do that, but they want that initial time, and they got to get past Slice to get it. And they're able to do that. Now Dawn left alone in the hill is going to be able to get traded out, but Muzzy and Trim, I feel like I've said it 15 times, here for the cleanup, as Binks now able to get a foot into the hill. The Dingoes have a chance here.
Yeah, they have a chance. They got to make sure they win these battles. Binks is winning his, but they got to watch out for Slice and Co. They're just running around the hill, and Slice and Don and Trim all get a big 3-piece. That pushes out Sydney Dingoes. Now they got to try this again. Muzzy does get taken down from the top blue. Physics, that's fine. A big 2-piece. Now they're in. They're trying to find his player. He's over here by this little pool table area. He does find one, but the teammates are there for Atlanta Dazed to get the trade. Rotation's already on for Muzzy. Muzzy's thinking about the win. He's not thinking about the rest of that scrap time. Muzzy wants to win. He's in the back, and he finds that big kill in the back. The teammates know he's here. He finds the second before he finally gets traded out by the Atlanta Dazed, but by Sydney Dingoes, but it gives Sydney Dingoes control of this early time of the hill. But Muzzy spawns up and says, "No, you guys sold me out, but on a one-on-one basis, I'm gonna win." He finally gets taken down. 211, 153 is the score. Atlanta Dazed are getting these back spawns, so it's gonna be tough for Sydney Dingoes to fight in from his front.
Yeah, Days are just in here, just one after the other, like lemurs jumping into the hill. Each of them finding kills, finding 2-pieces when they need to. And now Slice's turn to get some damage down onto this hill. And at 2:16 left to go on this hard point, I mean, they are absolutely cooking here on P4. Big rotations now for them to try and maybe get back into this. This scrap time is so big that the Dingoes can't really let it go, but it's not really their choice to make here. The Days are just finding all the kills.
Yeah, look at Trim, man. 44, 27, make that 45. I mean, he's doing everything. They just traded 3 players on their team in this game, in this series, has win 40-piece. Now they're on this P1, looking to close it out. Sydney Dingoes are trying to fight as hard as they can. Player 7, he's there, contesting as long as he can, but Trim is there to add to his kill feed. 3 more kills, and he can't get that 50 bomb. Just get off the hill, Trim, and go get it. Go get the 50, Trim. He didn't want the 50, man, but there he goes. Right there he goes. It's 250. I missed the score for the Sydney Dingoes, but man, 3-1 series for the Atlanta Dazed. Ended in 48 and 28. He was looking for that, man. I'm telling you, if it was me with the score that it was, I'd have been like, hey man, we gotta win this on P2. I gotta find it.